King Janaka continued, I am like an ignorant fool, deluded by the goblin known as the ego sense, which creates the false feeling, I am so and so. Knowing full well that time has trampled underfoot countless gods and trinities, I still entertain love for life. Trinities is a trinity of the Hindu pantheon. Vishnu, Brahma and Rudra or Shiva. Days and nights are spent in vain cravings, but not in the experience of the bliss of infinite consciousness. I have gone from sorrow to greater sorrow, but dispassion does not arise in me. At any moment, you've got the choice of identifying with notions, beliefs, or the opportunity to identify with truth. Most people think truth and belief are the same thing. But this is a distinction that the Yoga Vasishta makes. Truth and belief are not the same thing at all. Truth is not an example of another belief. It is not a particular belief. And this is what we need to direct our awareness to. At any moment we can be aware of truth, which is the nature of our own awareness, not as an understanding, but being with that awareness. Or we can be with all our notions about what the world is. And this is what Janaka is decrying. He's realised that he's spent his time in vain cravings. And craving is about identifying with notions, identifying with beliefs. It's not a question. A belief here isn't just simply a statement of dogma. It's to do with all the notions which arise within us concerning the nature of the world and the nature of ourself. This is what we're all caught up in. This is samsara, and at any moment we have the option of turning the awareness onto ourself towards consciousness, which is infinite, and within that infinite consciousness there is no room for anything negative. And dispassion has not arisen in him. He said dispassion has not arisen. And dispassion is the first stage of spiritual inquiry. It's realizing there is nothing of inherent interest in the world. What shall I regard as excellent or desirable, seeing that whatever one cherished in this world has passed away, leaving one miserable? Day by day people in this world grow in sin and violence, hence day by day they experience greater sorrow. Things haven't changed much, have they? Childhood is wasted in ignorance, youth is wasted in lusting after pleasures, and the rest of one's life is spent in family worries. What does a stupid person achieve in this life? Even if one performs great religious rites, one may go to heaven, nothing more. What is heaven? Is it on earth or in the netherworld? And is it a place which is untouched by affliction? Well, as we found before, even the gods have a rough time. They're constantly being assailed by demons. And some of these demons are pretty ferocious, and the gods have had to hide themselves on at least one occasion as some of these demons have attacked heaven. Sorrow brings happiness, and happiness brings sorrow on its shoulders. The pores of the earth are filled by the dead bodies of beings, hence it looks solid. There are beings in this universe whose winking is of the duration of an epoch. What is my lifespan in comparison? Of course, there appear to be delightful and enduring objects in this world, but they bring with them endless worries and anxieties. Prosperity is truly adversity, and adversity may be desirable depending upon the effect upon the mind. And the more you've got, the more anxious you've got. And who'd want to be one of these billionaire types? You know, it's not so simple just to take a walk down the street. It must be very difficult getting involved in any kind of relationship with people. Because you're no longer seen as a human being, you're seen as a bankroll. Mind alone is the seed for this delusion of world appearance. It is the mind that gives rise to the false sense of I and mine. In this world, which appears to have been created, even as the fruit of coconut palm might appear to have been dislodged by a crow, which coincidentally happens to alight on the tree at that moment, sheer ignorance generates feelings like, this I should have, and this I should reject. It is better to spend one's time in seclusion or in hell than to live in this world appearance. Intention or motivation alone is the seed for this world appearance. I shall dry up this motivation. I have enjoyed and suffered all kinds of experiences. Now I shall rest. I shall not grieve any more. I have been awakened. I shall slay this thief, the mind, who has stolen my wisdom. I have been well instructed by the sages. Now I shall seek self-knowledge. And clearly the teachings were not unknown to King Janaka, but they must have just been words in his head. But now he's experiencing for himself how this mind has stolen his wisdom. And this is what happens. The mind, which is the bundle of cravings and aversions, the mind which identifies aspects of the experiencing, the mind which creates notions of a self, personality, and directs its attention onto these notions, onto these notional objects. And the result is it saps your sense of being. It's like a drug addiction or any kind of addiction which saps your humanity or your consideration for others. It's our normal cravings and aversions sap our sense of being, the sense of our essential nature. And here once again we have the simile of the crow alighting on a coconut palm, and at that same point the coconut falls, and it seems that the crow has dislodged the coconut. And that's the picture that we put onto it. It's not the picture, it's not what's actually happened, but it's the construction that we make. And we've got this whole field of experiencing going on, which we put these constructions onto, constructions of cause and effect, notions of distance, of time, of identity, and of an external world. So King Janaka's had a realization, and it seems that he's on the point of dispassion, of realizing that he's been suckered basically, and he's not going to be suckered anymore.